So I was looking for a video idea and I thought, why not do a video on one of the biggest animes ever, One Piece. Now I'm not caught up on One Piece fully.
Oh brother, this guy's stiff!
But I did get past Wano and I'm currently on the start of Egghead Island arc. So I thought, why not do a video on one of my favorite characters in the anime, Katakuri. 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 And although we didn't get to see him a lot, for the time he was on screen, I loved it. From his character design, like look at the fit, to his devil fruit. And you know he got a lot of hugs because he stayed with the mochi. And the way he carried himself throughout the whole of Whole Cake Island arc. Today I'll be going over the fight between Luffy and Katakuri and share my thoughts on the battle between two goats and why I think Luffy shouldn't have won. Now before we get into the video, I want to state that I am not at all going to glaze Katakuri in this fight because he's my favorite character. And yes, although that may be, that doesn't mean I think he's the strongest character in the show. In fact, I'm pretty sure Egghead Luffy would crush Katakuri if they were to meet again. But without further ado, let's get into the analysis. Charlotte Katakuri, born second son of Big Mom, is often considered as the strongest member in Big Mom's crew, besides Big Mom of course. It's said that he's mastered armament Haki and observation Haki, allowing him to see slightly into the future. And he also has Conqueror's Haki on par with Luffy's in the Whole Cake Island arc, allowing him to clash with Luffy with there being no winner. To date, Katakuri is the only known canon special Paramecia Devil Fruit user in the show, which makes him appear as though he's a Logia, but that isn't the case. He's seen as stoic, disciplined, and serious, and holds a strong sense of pride and honor. He fights fair and respects strong opponents, and is stated to have never fallen on his back. He also deeply cares about his family, but hides his vulnerabilities like his face and his love for sweets.
Care for an apple?
Do you take us for idiots? We'd never trust food from someone like you.
Hey, look! Apples!
Monkey D. Luffy, born the only son of Monkey D. Dragon and grandson of Monkey D. Garp. He's the main protagonist of the story and captain of the Straw Hat Pirates crew. At the beginning of the Whole Cake Island arc, he has all three forms of Haki, but doesn't master observation Haki till towards the end of the fight with Katakuri. Spoiler warning. It was originally thought that he has the Gum Gum fruit, but was later revealed in Wano that he has the Hito Hito no Mi modeled Nika, and is often seen as cheerful, carefree, fearless, and extremely stubborn. Luffy also has a deep sense of loyalty to his friends, and believes in freedom and following his own path no matter what it takes.
Now I can fight you without any interruptions!
In the beginning of the fight, Katakuri says that he's better than Luffy in every way, showing that he's able to mimic his attacks but faster and bigger throughout the fight. But later then chose to end the fight when he saw Luffy about to transform to Gear 4. I think this is true to a certain extent because I feel as though there were times where Katakuri was kinda toying with Luffy because Luffy wasn't able to land an attack. Now don't get me wrong, Luffy isn't a small fry at this point of the show and is pretty strong, but I do think Katakuri was stronger than him at this point in the show.
You need to leave!
Another reason for this claim is he willingly wounded himself so that him and Luffy would be on the same page. Luffy later escapes the mochi by eating it, then attacks Katakuri while eating his donuts. And this is where Katakuri gets angry and starts to take the battle more seriously. Luffy then goes Gear 4 Bounce Man and is able to land a few attacks on Katakuri while also realizing that he's not invincible, but just really strong. He also realizes that it's not his mochi powers that makes him strong, but his use of observation Haki. I think this kinda ends the debate to all you fruit over Haki users out there. No, I'm just kidding. But I do think this goes to show that Haki is a really strong tool in the One Piece world. And if you learn to master it, it can take you very far. Luffy then goes back to battle with Katakuri after his Haki cooldown is up and is training his observation Haki while fighting with Katakuri. But before he can go Gear 4 Snake Man, Katakuri's sister, who deserves no name, shoots Luffy with a blow dart and weakens him. And Katakuri is able to wound Luffy. Katakuri then realizes what happens and unmasks himself in front of everyone there and wounds himself after finding out. And this is where we see the sense of pride and honor in him and how he respects strong opponents and fights fair. Him and Luffy then do a Conqueror's Haki clash, and it knocks out everyone present so him and Luffy could have a fair one-on-one. By this point, Luffy is able to catch on to how Katakuri is able to see into the future and is able to do it himself. He then transforms into Gear 4 Snake Man, and Katakuri takes off his jacket and they get to fighting. And in the final battle, Luffy and Katakuri are able to trade blows evenly and ends up clashing. And they both fall, but Katakuri ends up on his stomach while Luffy falls on his back. They both get back up, but Katakuri asks him,
"Tell me one last thing. Will you return to defeat Big Mom someday?"
and Luffy says,
I have to, because I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
You're seeing quite far into the future.
and Katakuri falls on his back, ending the fight. Now it's stated that Katakuri never fall on his back by Brûlé, his sister. I'm not entirely sure on why he did this instead of falling normally on his stomach, but I do think if he were to keep going, Luffy would have lost the battle. But Katakuri saw the will and determination in him and let him pass. And this is why I think Katakuri was stronger than Luffy at this point to a certain extent, because while yes he's able to copy his fruit, his strength, and his speed, he wasn't able to copy his will and determination to keep going, and ultimately lost, leaving Luffy the victor. I do wish we can see more of Katakuri in the show, maybe an update episode on him or something. But until then, Luffy's up on the scoreboard and my dog Katakuri gotta get his get back. If you liked the video and would like to see more videos like this, let me know what you'd like to see in the comments below. And also like and subscribe, as it would really help me out. And it's also free. Peace.
This is great banter. It really is.